hey, you do what you want, but don't say that you wasn't warned.
warned. Yeah.
Because 10 years from now, when you still haven't built any wealth because you spent all your money gambling on FanDuel and parlays, and you have nothing to really show for it. You might have won, then you lost, then you won, then you lost. You can't say that you was not warned. That wasn't the most intelligent way to go about it. But hey, what do I know? But also let's show this clip. The last thing, let's show this NCAA clip about gambling now being allowed on a college level for college athletes to gamble on professional sports.
College sports will never be the same after what the NCAA just did. Just as the FBI starts arresting players and coaches for illegal gambling, and if you want to see a video I made on that already, click right here. The NCAA, in its infinite wisdom, decides that now is a great time to let their players and coaches and staff legally gamble on professional sports. Which, if you somehow didn't know this already, college athletes were not allowed to gamble whatsoever. First and foremost, this rule goes into effect next week. Have you ever seen something get passed so quickly? Second of all, this really stops being dumb and starts making a hell of a lot of sense when you ask the right questions. And the right question in this situation is, who the hell benefits from this? It's not the players, it's not the integrity of the game. It's these two little guys right here, DraftKings and FanDuel. This decision reeks of lobbyist money, and these guys are not playing the short game. This rule change isn't just to get a couple college kids betting on the NFL. The prize is creating an entire generation of gambling addicts. If you take a 19-year-old kid with millions of dollars from the NIL and get him hooked on daily gambling, you have a customer for life. And what do you think happens to that addiction when they go pro? You think it just goes away? They carry that addiction into the league, and now guess what? They have an entire network. There's underclassmen on the team that they can talk to. Those underclassmen are talking to him, and each of them are telling their buddies, "Hey, let's not cover the spread on this one. How about it? How about I give you a big bag of cash?" So basically, what the NCAA just did was essentially create a cross-league network where point shaving, inside information, and just straight up cheating becomes inevitable. So this isn't just a rule change. This is the NCAA literally injecting cancer into the league. Which, by the way, the NCAA is like, "Oh yeah, we're going to keep our integrity." Okay. Even though you literally just had 3 athletes get banned for life for gambling on games. I cannot emphasize this enough. This is the worst idea ever. And we're all going to look back on this video in about a year or two when there is a massive NCAA gambling scandal. It's going to happen.
Okay.
There are 2 wars being fought and have been being fought the last 6 or 7 years. It's the mob version. Can we all agree that the mob businesses are created to create wealth for the mob and not for the people outside of the mob? Gambling, liquor, clubs, music are all mob businesses. That's why I tell you to go look at the origin of a business to know how it's operated and how it was founded, to know the principles it's going to carry through. But corporate, same in prohibition, post-prohibition, wants to find a way to eat into that racket. And I think it's very fascinating, given this scandal in the NBA, how quickly they adjusted to college. What do you think about it?
No, I mean, especially the part that he said, like, you got a young customer, you got a customer for life. And that was the thing, even with the cigarette companies, that was one of their major marketing campaigns when they had Joe Camel and they put cartoon characters, because the idea is that if you can appeal to a young audience, then that's something
for a long period.
And that's all major marketing. If McDonald's, the reason why McDonald's has that bounty house thing that they have, and they have the Ronald McDonald clown and the toys and the Happy Meal, is that they wanted to appeal to a extremely young audience, because your habits are hard to break. That's why it's important to establish good habits when you're young, or for parents to try to force their kids to have good habits, because it's extremely difficult to break habits. So most of the time when you do things as a young person, you're going to continue to do that as an adult.
Those habits die hard. Yep. So
that's why most marketers, they'll rather market to young people than they'll market to adults. Even though young people don't really have money, they'll force their parents to do things, or they'll find ways to. And even if that discretionary income is a lot lower, it's a long game. It's because they know by the time that they become an adult, they have a lifetime addiction to whether it's fast food, whether it's gambling, whether it's nicotine, whether it's whatever. So a lot of these things, yes, a lot of these things was intentionally marketed to young people and is going down. So this makes perfect sense as far as the gambling thing. It's like, okay, how young can we get it?
And on top of that, when there's economic unrest, it's the perfect time to launch a derivative to an audience who doesn't believe in the system. The success of Bitcoin is an indictment against the faith of the American population into American banking and the dollar. So the timing, and I've said it too, if they find the equivalent, and they kind of have one, but it's not long-term, where they have like the kind of like guarantee plays, if they find a version of an index for gambling, oh man, it's going to be tough for some of you ETF creators because the returns are higher. It's a battle even in that old money versus new money. Old mob business being encroached by tech bros that are being weaponized through multiple agencies. There's a lot of wars going on right now, but protect yourself. And shout out to the players in the NBA, NFL. I'm not saying that you guys don't put in work because you do, especially for those I have a relationship with. But these games have been rigged since the beginning of time.